Hello, and welcome to today's episode. The Bible is referred to as the living Word of God. It isn't a book that is meant to simply be read. It is a perspective-altering substance that is meant to be ingested and absorbed into you. When it becomes a part of you, it changes you, and that is exactly what it is meant to do. A psalm is a spiritual song based on a profound, foundational insight that is expressed in the form of music, which is usually plucked out on a harp. This is my own paraphrase of the Psalms. Now, there is an important difference between a paraphrase and a translation, and it is important to understand what that difference is. A translation takes a text word by word and finds the most accurate word in another language to convey the meaning of that original word. But sometimes getting the details right can come at the expense of the big picture. For example, the literal translation for a butt dial and the literal translation for a booty call could end up being exactly the same if they were translated very literally into another language. But we all know that those are two very different ideas. A paraphrase, on the other hand, is attempting to capture the spirit of the idea that is being expressed. But both approaches have their own disadvantages. Sometimes the most literal translation for each word, while technically accurate, loses something in its translation. For example, if you were to translate the phrase, "cat got your tongue," into another language, it would make no sense to them. Why would a cat grab your tongue? What are you even talking about? In order to convey the original idea, you would have to find out which saying is used in that other language to express the same concept. But it might not involve a cat, or even any animal at all. So the literal translation would not be a very accurate one. But in a case like the one that I just described, the idea is more important than it is to stick to a very literal translation that loses all of the intended meaning. However, because paraphrases are an individual's interpretation of the underlying idea, instead of a rigorous academic translation of the word, they are not as accurate as a translation is. A paraphrase is a lot more subjective, and that makes it much more susceptible to interpretations that are way off the mark of the original text's intent. The focus of a translation is on detailed accuracy, and sometimes the broader picture is not conveyed very clearly as a result. The focus of a paraphrase is on painting that big picture, but it often loses the accuracy of the finer details. Both of these are useful as long as you understand which is which, and what the disadvantages to each approach are. That is why I recommend using both an accurate translation like the New American Standard and a responsible paraphrase. Psalm 14. Childish fools inwardly tell themselves there is no God, no ultimate creator. So their deeds are born out of their own corrupted source, and as a result, they do vile things. They cannot discern what is good and what is evil, and not even one of them manages to do the right thing this way. But from his infinite perspective, the Most High carefully observes the human race from above, in order to see if anyone actually seeks him, if even one of them really understands and bases the things that he does on the wisdom that he found in a higher source above himself. No. They have all followed each other, completely off track, like sheep. Their group mentality taints each and every one of them. And every individual is corrupted together by the whole. There is not a single one among them who does the right thing or who instinctively recognizes what is good. Not even one. Don't all of these people understand, who take their own path and worship themselves as they go around devouring my people the way that they would eat bread, while refusing to do the one thing that would actually satisfy the ravenous hunger inside of them by calling on the Most High? Instead, there they are, completely overwhelmed by the terror that they have created for themselves. They live at the mercy of what they fear the most, because the Most High is not there to face it with them. For He is dwelling in the middle of the people who are not compromising with low instincts, and instead are taking the path of nobility, integrity, and honor. Can't you see? You look down on the plans of the little person who is so easy for you to dismiss, and you mock the fundamental things that they long for. You have decided for them that they do not really need those things, and so you try to take them away. But their refuge is the Most High. So which one of you is actually the punchline of this ironic joke? How I long to be there, to see the salvation of Israel emerging out of Zion. When the Most High restores the status of His people to that of the fortunate few who are blessed with His divine favor and love, Jacob will rejoice, and all the people of Israel will be eager to engage in the celebration. I pray that whatever voice God might choose to give me in this world, He would also give me the words that I should use it for. These words have meaning for me, and if they had some meaning for you as well, then I am truly grateful that we have both been given a gift from above, and from each other. Have a good day out there, my friends.